I finally got my hands on the DJI Mini 4K. I believe it's only just landed in Australia. That's why it took me so long to get my hands on one. I've seen a bunch of content on this already, but let's get into it. What is the Mini 4K from DJI? What does it offer? Is it the perfect beginner-friendly drone? And what else do you need to know about this little drone? What's going on, guys? My name is Dan Davis, and I'm the creative director here on DansTube.TV, which is Australia's #1 drone YouTube channel. Straight off the bat, let's just say, man, this thing looks identical to some previous mini drones we've seen from DJI. It really does look like a reshell, I guess you would call it. It's pretty much the same offering here as the Mini 2. We've obviously seen the Mini 2, we've seen the Mini 2 SE, we've seen the Mini SE, we've seen the Mini 3, Mini 4. There's so many different mini drones, right? But this guy here does share a lot of similarities with the Mini 2. Now, when the Mini 2 SE came out, it was a little confusing. A lot of people were thinking it was a 4K drone. Now, I appreciate the branding on this one because it's very clear Mini 4K. This is a 4K ready mini drone. It weighs under 250 grams and it has the same body as some of those previous mini drones that I mentioned there. It's even got the same battery system here. And let's get into the camera because that is also very similar to the Mini 2. The camera system is a 1/2.3 inch CMOS sensor. It is a 24mm equivalent with an f2.8 aperture. It can capture 4K 30 frames per second, 2.7K 60 frames per second, and 12 megapixel stills. So very, very similar on paper again as the Mini 2. This is a very interesting release for me because not long ago I released a video on the Mini 2 basically saying the forgotten mini drone. And a lot of people actually reached out and said, I still love the Mini 2. I still use it all the time. This is my main drone. And that video did really well. So that just shows how long the Mini 2 has stayed in its relevant spot for. So I think that the Mini 4K is actually perfect for a lot of people starting out. If you've got the Mini 2 already, obviously you're not going to consider something like this. If you have another higher end drone and you want something smaller, this could be something to consider, as well as if you're a beginner and you've never owned a drone. This is a perfect entry into the drone world, especially into the DJI drone world, which is a very reliable flight experience. If you are interested in the Mini 4K and you're based in Australia, I do have some special opportunities for my audience. You can reach out to the D1 store directly. That's sales@d1store.com.au. Mention DansTube and you'll save over there. You can also use the code DansTube on their website to save on select drones, cameras, and accessories. Also, if you're an international viewer, I will have some other links down below, so make sure to check those out. It does help the channel, and hopefully I can get you guys some savings as well. The core offering here is nothing new, but it still is a really exciting experience. So I found myself using the digital zoom a fair bit, so using 4K 30 frames per second, but then punching in a little bit to 2 times. So getting a little bit of that digital zoom. I just love that compression effect when you zoom in. Now this is digital zoom, but I was still really impressed with the quality. 4K looks great and the images still look great from this drone here. It does a great job of capturing video and photos, and it's perfect for really most people. Like if you just want to have something basic for those family memories or for some social media content, this is a great foot in the door. So you're getting 31 minutes of flight time, and you're also getting DJI AUSSIES 2 with the controller. So this controller here is actually a controller I haven't seen before. It is the AUSSIES N1C, and I could be wrong, but I believe that this is specifically for the Mini 4K. I haven't seen the N1C before. It is using AUSSIES 2 technology, and it does have a very similar design, or identical design, let's call it, to the AUSSIES N1. So AUSSIES 2 is still a very reliable technology, and you're getting up to 10 kilometers of flight time with this controller system. Really, really impressive stuff. You never need to fly that far, keep it in line of sight, but still, for something this small to have an extremely reliable flight experience, I never have it drop out. I can confidently fly this and never have any issues with it. It also has a level 5 wind resistance, so that means it can fly in wind speeds up to 38 kilometers. The other day I was flying in gust speeds just over 30 kilometers. It was handling it like a beast. I do find though, just with these smaller, I guess more flimsy drones, if I was flying in sports mode, occasionally the camera would just kind of like lose its position just because it's got so much like, you know, wind resistance battling against it. Sometimes if I did these moves and it wasn't even in the FPV mode, it would still give me that banking effect. So it is very reliable, and in terms of its flight performance, phenomenal, but occasionally I just noticed the camera would kind of get pulled off to one side a little bit if the wind was too intense. It has all all of those great safety features like smart return to home, low battery return to home, or fail-safe return to home. And it has some quick shot modes as well, which we've come to love. We get droney, circle, rocket, helix, and boomerang. And we also get some panorama options. So we get sphere, wide angle, and 180 degrees. Really easy to fly this system. It's reliable in those quick shot modes. It gives you the opportunity actually to just press on a plus. So if you want to have me as the focus point, I had a moment where it was like looking at me, press the plus, so it just recognized, oh, it wants to track me, and it flew back and did its thing. Really impressive in that situation. There's no obstacle avoidance on here. It can't do any sort of following or tracking modes outside of the quick shot modes that kind of work as a form of tracking, but it is like the most basic flight experience in that regard, but it gives you everything you need, right? There's no bells and whistles. It's not overly complicated. And again, in terms of the offering, nothing new from the Mini 2 in those regards, but still really reliable and great for people that want to enter the market. For a drone that is lightweight, portable, nice and easy to fold away, perfect for travel, great weight point, that weight class of 249 grams will save you a lot of headaches, regardless of where you are in the world, because I know there's a lot of rules and regulations all over the world, but a lot of the time under 250 grams is that kind of sweet spot for mini drones. So this is no exception here. Perfect for those kind of scenarios. 4K video looks great. The photos look great. The flight performance is phenomenal. And the fact that we've got the interchangeable battery system with previous models is great. The fact that this has been an established like build quality now for a long time, there are going to be a lot of accessories out there that you can use with this guy. I got myself the Fly More kit, which actually comes with the bag, and it comes with the charging hub. So this can also operate as an out. So you can charge out from here as well as charge the unit. Simple little design, perfect little setup with the bag and everything. The controller works flawlessly, and just the experience is great, but that's what we've come to love from DJI, a flawless experience time and time again. I can't knock this for what it's trying to be. There is nothing overly exciting though if we think about it in comparison to the Mini 2. So if you've got a Mini 2, you don't even really need to consider something like this. The Mini 2 SE, maybe you would consider it, but honestly at that point, if you've got a Mini 2 SE, just go with like a Mini 4 or a Mini 3 Pro, for example. You're gonna be very happy with that. I think this drone is perfect for people who want to enter the market. You know, if you've never owned a drone before, this is the drone to start with. It's a 4K ready drone, perfect for socials, perfect for your trips or your different holidays and whatnot you might be doing. This is ideal for that. Really, really impressive stuff in that scenario. And I think the only other people this is going to appeal to is people who have a higher end drone. Maybe that's a Mavic 3 Pro, for example, and they're thinking, I want a mini drone. This is something that's affordable. It's a mini drone that still captures 4K, and it can get in between those little tight gaps. You can get some very unique perspectives because this drone is so small and it has such a small footprint. That's where I think this is a cool creative tool for people who already own like a higher end drone. Those are my thoughts on the Mini 4K. It is a great drone. It does what you want it to do, and I think it's a great starting point for a lot of people. I would have loved to have seen just a few more fun features, a few more unique offers for the 4K, whether that was some new modes in there, whether they tried to add something exciting to it, something like a bump up to the camera or a slight change to the body, to the design of it. But I mean, it does the job and it's a very reliable drone. There's no issues, never had the battery come loose, never had issues with wind performance, or never had it lose someone when you're in the quick shot mode or anything like that. Quality is great, focus on it's great. It's got that infinity focus, so you really don't have to worry about things being out of focus ever. It's just an easy drone to use. So hopefully that helped. I appreciate all the support, everyone, and I'll chat to you very soon. Peace.